Alright guys, welcome back, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys two new awesome functions, and those are called puts and gets. Now puts and gets are two awesome ways of A, printing strings to the screen, and B, getting strings from the user. If you guys are like Bucky, we already have a way to get stuff, and that's scanf. They can type crap into their keyboard, but if you remember, scanf has one huge problem, and that's whenever it tries to scan in a string with a space, it pretty much breaks our program. For example, if the user tried to type in something like Bucky Roberts, it would scan Bucky, and it would view this little space right here is the end of the string. So it wouldn't even read this last name at all. Well, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a way to scan in strings incredibly easily that can have spaces in them as well. So let's go ahead and make a couple character arrays. I'll just print out something like cat's name and make this equal to 50 or something. So the goal of this program is it allows the user to enter a cat's name, and also we'll say like a cat's, I don't know, food or something, and it'll just print it out on the screen. We'll say like cat's name eats cat's food. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to make a blank. We'll set this equal to 75. Can't even talk when I'm typing. I want to make a blank character array, and this right here is where we're going to be storing the final result that we're going to print out on the screen. So pretty much the user is going to scan in a string for this, and then we'll use the functions that we learned before to develop a new string. So in order to just print out a string on the screen, we can use printf, but I gotta tell you guys a new way, and that's puts. Now, in between puts, it only takes one parameter, and that's what's the cat's dumb name. Now, another thing I want to mention is this. Whenever you use puts, unlike printf, it automatically adds a new line to the end of this. So you don't need to add one explicitly unless you want two new lines, or in other words, a space in between the next line. So again, even though you can't see it, there is a new line character there. So this next function, gets, which is going to act like scanf, at least it's pretty much a scanf that you can use spaces with. And the only parameter that this takes is where you want to store the string that you're scanning in. So again, if we just run this right now, you guys are going to see that this cursor is on the next line because that's how puts works by default. So we can just enter a name like hey, because it doesn't have any functionality right now, so let's change that. So right now, whatever the user types in is stored in the character array or the string cat's name. So for this next puts right here, we can put what does he eat. Now you can type anything you want, and it's going to be stored in cat's food. And that's all you have to do. That's how simple it is. So again, like I said, it's a lot easier than using printf with a bunch of different parameters, or scanf for gets with like the ampersand and all that confusing crap. So we basically have two strings that we could use. So how about we use one of those cool functions, string cat, and what this is going to do is tack on one string to the end of another. Now since this sentence is the final string that we're going to be using, let's go ahead and first tack on the cat's name to this. So after this line completes, this sentence is pretty much just going to be equal to the cat's name. We'll say it's Bucky. So after this, we need some text in between, and we'll just put loves to eat. So after this line, it says Bucky loves to eat, and now we can just go ahead and add the name of the food, which is cat's food. And the last thing that we need to do is, since we built the string piece by piece, it started off blank and now it has three parts to it, all we need to do is print it out on the screen. And of course, to print stuff out on the screen using this cool new function, we use puts, and the string that we want to print out is sentence. So let's see how this program works right now. So what's the cat's dumb name? Well, my cat's name is Pussy McStanky, and again, I'm using a space in between here. Hit enter. What does he eat? Bagels. I'll just make a simple string for that to show you guys that it can also take simple strings without a space. Hit enter. Builds the string, and our final one is Pussy McStanky loves to eat bagels, and indeed he does. So again, puts prints a string out on the screen, gets can get a string from the user, and the cool thing is that that string can also have spaces, and the string cat can build a string piece by piece by piece and print out the final one on the screen. So pretty cool string functions, and definitely a lot easier than using printf and scanf with a bunch of those optional parameters and ampersands and freaking weird stuff like that. So for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll smell you guys later.